Good morning! So, you want to be a computer science major, or you want to know as much as possible about every course so that you can make the most informed decision as possible. Or maybe you have no idea what you're going to take in college, so you're just throwing darts, hoping you could get something you're at least halfway decent at. Well, worry not, because I got your back. Now, you might be thinking, who's this guy? Why should I listen to him? Why is he even making this video? Well, I'm a graduate of BS Computer Science. And not to brag, but I did pretty well. And I'm making this video since I've personally seen so many people choose this course and regret it. If you go back a few years, you'll see the same story. You don't want to take 2 years of computer science and then just end up shifting. Or even worse, actually graduate and just end up as an encoder. College already gets enough of your money. So you should at least make the most of it. Alright, first you need to be good at mathematics. Now, you might be thinking, mathematics? Won't the computer do the math for me? Well, sorry to say this, but who do you think teaches the computer how to do the math? Now really, you don't necessarily need to be good at mathematics, just be really good at logic. However, in high school, generally, the only logic subject you have is mathematics, so it's best to be better at it. Furthermore, computer science actually takes its roots in mathematics. It's gone a long way since then, but the base idea is still the same. One last thing. During my time in college, my professors had this to say: great mathematicians make good computer scientists. But sadly, the opposite isn't true. Second skill that computer science majors need is adaptability, or willingness to and effectiveness during change. The world of computer science is always changing. More optimizations, more paradigms, more new features to computer science at large and to the specific project that you're working on. This isn't economics where the basics haven't changed at all since the past, 200 years? In computer science, even the basis assumptions can be subject to change, and you have to be ready for that. Also, if you want to take computer science in college, I'll assume that you want to be one of two things. Either you want to be an employee of some big company, or you want to start your own business. In both cases, you're probably going to have somebody whose opinion you value more than your own. It could be your client, it could be your boss, it could be your customer. Trust me, they are definitely going to make one suggestion that seems reasonable, but will force you to completely rethink the way you've been going about your project. Third skill that computer scientists need: good social skills. Now, I know what you're thinking. Would I mostly be dealing with computers? Can't I just let the computers do the communicating for me? Well, first, know this. Almost any project you can think of, you'll end up having to collaborate with other people. Now, think of programming like writing an essay. Except, instead of in English, you're writing the essay in Spanish or some other language you don't really know. And you have to write this paper with the help of these people. And each and every one of you has a slightly different understanding of the Spanish language. All at the same time, the questions that you're trying to answer in the essay keep changing slightly over time. That's basically what programming is like. Now, clearly, the ability to work well in a team and socialize are vital in this situation. Especially since you get to speak with each other in English rather than in Spanish. It becomes even more useful when you realize that with good communication skills, you'll be able to unify all of your different understandings of the Spanish language. That's not really possible if the mere thought of talking with and constructively criticizing another person is higher on your "I would never do that" list than, let's say, swallowing a cockroach. Learn to work in a team and learn how to not be a jerk. Lastly, you'll need a little thing called empathy. Empathy is all about understanding and sharing in the feelings of another person. It's about having the ability to put oneself in another person's shoes. In other words, it's about having the ability to see things through another person's point of view. In my opinion, this is one of the most underrated skills in computer science, and yet it can probably be one of the most important. A good portion of the work in computer science, in whatever project you do, will have to do with the way things look, whether it be directly related to it or be about creating features that help improve it. If you've ever played a video game or gone to a website with a horrible user interface, you probably didn't stick around to see what the project could offer you. Even if it could solve the mysteries of the universe, you wouldn't care if you thought it was unusable or too deep to get into. People think that your program is frustrating or too knowledge heavy. They're not going to use it. This can be a little bit hard to see, since as the creators of the project, we inherently know everything about it. So it's hard for us to tell what is intuitive from what is a little bit complicated. Because of this, we assume that people know things that they might not actually know. When you're an expert, it's a little bit hard to see things from a newbie's perspective. Now, even if you don't work on things that the user will directly see, empathy is still super important. To work well with others, you have to be able to create things that are easily understandable, even for an outsider. If you don't, you'll end up having to do a lot of the work on your own, since nobody will be able to help you if nobody can understand you. Also, you'll need a little bit of empathy to understand the thought process that people go through as they write their program, just so that you can understand what the heck it is that they're making. If you can only understand code that's written in the same style as your own, well, let's just say that you're the only person who writes in the same style. Alright, let's go over the 4 skills again. Mathematics, adaptability, good social skills, and empathy. Now here's what I want you to do. Go over that list again, and for each particular skill that you think you're good at, give yourself a 1. Give yourself a 0 if you're a little bit unsure about what your skill level is in that particular skill. Or maybe if you think that you're just about average. Give yourself a -1 if you think that you're bad at the particular skill. -2 if you're really bad. Now, add them up. If you got a 3 or a 4, I don't care who you are. Take computer science. This course is in high demand, and you'll often be able to create meaningful work that betters the lives of others. Your skills align so well with what a computer scientist needs that I can all but guarantee success if this is your chosen field. The only thing you need to worry about is the time investment in pursuing a career in computer science. A computer scientist often finds that his time isn't his own, even while you're still in college. So you should only pursue a different career path if you value having a lot of time, or if there are certain factors that prevent you from putting in that much work. But then again, computer science is it's pretty high income. If you got anything between a 0 and a 2, taking computer science should be a fine choice, especially if you're already interested in the course to begin with. You're going to have to develop the skills that you're missing, but it shouldn't be anything that's too tough to handle. Don't get me wrong, you'll probably still have to put in a lot of time and effort to be able to be proficient in the course. However, you should have enough time from now until the day that you graduate computer science to develop all of them. If you need to improve your math skills, try solving riddles or logic problems online. If adaptability is what you need, try playing some action games or getting into sports or martial arts. These will put you into high-stress situations where you'll have to make a decision on the fly. If social skills are the problem, there's a lot that can be done to improve them. Personally, I like to approach strangers to improve my social skills, since if you can talk with strangers, you can talk with pretty much anyone. If you need to develop empathy, try going to any crowded place, like a park or a mall, and try to understand the way people feel. Try to predict what they're going to do. If you got a negative score, well, I really think you should consider a different career path. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying that you have to really, really, really put in the effort to become proficient at all of the skills. And in my opinion, you'll be better off looking for something else that you can become great at, rather than just okay at. Now, of course, all of this is just my opinion, but I sincerely hope that you learned something. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. This is VHCBlade saying, do what you're good at.